Today I felt like a barbarian charging down the hill into the Roman ranks with my two-handed battle axe or war hammer or something like that, and swinging it at every single Roman I could see and making them fly off the damn earth. That's exactly how I felt. That's actually the image that I had driving my car into work today. Sometimes I get these ideas of playing video games and all this sort of stuff. I played a lot of video games when I was growing up, and so sometimes I get these kind of like scenes in my mind from various different video games. And for some reason, this scene popped into my head. I was so damn eager to go into the gym and train. I was so eager to squat, so eager to hit that volume that I missed out on yesterday. I literally felt like I was a bare-chested barbarian running into the ranks of the Romans and swinging my war hammer and like connecting, their little shields and their full plate armor, and me here with my bare chest with just a war hammer in my hand. Yesterday after that session, I missed out on all the volume. Basically, yesterday was just like a weird session, and ever since I left, I kind of felt like I was underdone. My legs weren't underneath me. I couldn't turn on my quads. There was a whole bunch of things, and a bunch of you guys said, man, you should have spent longer, warming up. You should have doubled up on some of your warm-up sets just to kind of wake up the legs. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. And so today, no matter what happened, I wasn't going to take prisoners. I don't care if it took 60 kilos for a set of 10 for 20 damn sets. I was going to warm up today and get my legs underneath me. And surprisingly today, as soon as I walked in, I had a pop in my step. I felt poppy. I went under the bar. Now, there's a whole lot of fatigue in my system from all these 3 sets of 5 and whatever. But today it was just the mental thing. There was a click. There was a click in my mind. I just wanted to attack. And so today I wanted to hit 3 by 5. I ended up doing 5 by 5. There was no way I could have walked out with 3 by 5. I even thought 6 by 5 or 7 by 5. But the last set was I was getting tired, man. My lower back, my core started kind of talking to me, and so I thought, let's not leave this damn gym on the damn stretcher. Let's walk out of here. But sometimes I get these urges to train, and it's like unlike anything. And I know a lot of you guys are like, man, you've been training for 709 damn days in a row, and you still feel like that. Man, it's a passion of mine. I honestly, I look forward to these sessions every single day. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. It's a passion. I literally look forward to breaking these barriers, getting stronger, working out this damn puzzle that I have in front of me. It feels so damn good. Man, sometimes I just want to do all this volume. Man, I'm probably going to pay for this tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an earlier session as well. Like today was at 4, 5 o'clock. Tomorrow's going to have to be like a 10 o'clocker. Got things on later on in the day, and so it's going to be a quick turnaround. So all I did today was squat and deadlift. Squat was 5 by 5. I worked up to 200 kilos. I ended up doing 2 sets. The first rep that I did with 200, I felt like the bar kind of rolled forward a little bit. I lost my balance. It was kind of like a half good morning. You'll see it coming up in a second. And so I wanted to redo it. Redid it. Felt a little bit better. A bit more on the optimal kind of bar path. But still, it was slow. Went down to 160, and I just started chopping up these 160s, man. I took that 160 for a good ride, 5 by 5. I wanted more. I really, really wanted more. The one thing that I kept thinking about, though, was, when you do all this volume in the squat, I spoke about this in the last few videos, you have to do something to offset that, right? Because even though the squat is an incredible exercise, it does one side of the body. It does one kind of, motion. It does one orientation of movement. And so what I've been doing, and I haven't been showing it on the screen last few days, but I've been doing a whole lot of hamstring curls. This morning when I woke up, I had a bunch of things to do throughout the day. But as soon as I kind of woke up and I had my breakfast, I went out here and I've got that ham curl bench attachment to my bench. Had it for quite a long time. And so I just put 10 kilos on that guy, and I just did 5 sets of 20 and really kind of warmed up the hamstrings. The reason why I do that, and I did that, and I'm going to probably do some more after this video, is just to combat all that anterior chain kind of attention. The thing with my hip pain that I've kind of realized, I kind of let it kind of run away from me in a way. I would have periods in the last 700 days where I'll really push the volume, whether it be sub 50, sub 70, sub 60, or like 80%. I would have these periods where I'll really get after the volume, And then the following 2 or 3 days, the hip pain would start to get bad. And so I'll always be like, man, why can't my body not take the volume? Because I kind of started thinking about it, and I've worked this out, and the big aha moment was like 200 days ago, not even 200 days, 100 days ago, 150 days ago. The big aha moment was when I realized the ITB was kind of connecting all of the freaking upper leg. And so I worked out why the TFL was hurting. The TFL is just basically a symptom. It's not really the cause of anything. But the reason why I'm telling you this now is because like 5x5 is a lot of damn volume, right? It's a lot of volume, and it's a lot of volume on something that's really high frequency, right? Like I'm doing squat every day, and tomorrow I'm going to hit 200 again probably, and probably another 3 sets of 5, which is a lot of freaking volume. And you have to offset that somehow. You know, the joints, whether it be the knee or the hip, all it wants to do is be happy. It wants to be happy. It wants to be perfectly aligned within its kind of, axis of orientation, right? Because if you have a muscle on the anterior side of that joint pulling harder than the posterior, then you have kind of like a misalignment of forces within that joint, and you get kind of pains and strains and tendonitis and all this sort of stuff. So when people talk about knee pain, when people talk about hip pain, literally the first thing I think is balance. You're probably doing something too much for one side, whether it be the deadlift, whether it be the squat. Like for me, it's the squat. It's obvious. Like, as you guys, I think most of you guys have realized by now, I do a lot of squats. And so I've kind of spent a lot of my time over this squat every day program, kind of look for the perfect body exercise for the squat. And you can pick whatever you want. You can pick whatever. There's a whole bunch of exercises you can pick, and I've certainly tried a lot of them. And I've kind of beat around the bush for a little bit. And it's not the exercise itself. It's just the motion, what you're doing. So some of these exercises, which I'm going to say now, you can do any of them to stay healthy and allow you to pursue the volume in the squat that you really want. And you're going to be happy, whether you have knee pain or hip pain. The exercises are all pulls, whether it be a hamstring curl, seated, lying, an RDL, a deadlift, block pull, rack pull, single leg, kettlebell, RDL, whatever you like to do, and you can mix these up. Certainly, I'm one of those guys that likes to have, when I find something that works, I just want to keep doing that. So right now I'm smashing the hell out of the hamstring curls. Just the lying ones, because I've got it at home. And it's super easy. I can jump on it. I can just bang out all these damn sets and think nothing of it. It's so damn cheap. Whereas the RDL maybe and the deadlift and the rack pull, obviously it's subjective to the loading. But some of these exercises are much more holistic, much more compound. Whereas the hamstring curls is just you're there for the damn hamstring. And so if you're squatting high bar like me and you do 5x5, it's probably in your best interest to do something for the hamstring on that same day. I know we kind of break up our body parts. Okay, Monday's going to be quads, Wednesday's going to be hamstrings and all that sort of stuff. But, if you think about it, you give all the attention on Monday for the quad and you smash the hell out of it. And so the body's going to have to kind of go 1, 2, maybe even 3 days worth of extra tension to one side of the hip and nothing on the back end. And then you wait for the Wednesday one to kind of restore that balance. And so I feel like training the antagonist immediately, like in that session or around that session on that day, is probably the best for that whole idea of making sure that the axis of that joint is it's got the same kind of tension pulling on one, from both sides. This is one idea that I kind of been thinking about for a little bit. Same thing if you've got like elbow pain or joint pain or whatever, you kind of have to work out what you're doing. So if you're getting, shoulder pain from doing a whole lot of overhead pressing, I would say do the exact opposite to that, like pull-ups. If you're doing bench press, do rows. If you're doing squats, like I named all the other exercises, I literally think it's all about balance. It's that word that you can freaking apply to every part of your life. It's all about balance. Our bodies, our organisms don't like extremism, even though it appeals the hell to me. It appeals so much to me. I love specialists. I love extremism. It's just something so soothing to see somebody, not be able to play basketball at all. He's there purely to rebound the ball, right? There's been guys in the NBA history who have made the Hall of Fame, and they don't know how to dribble the ball, how to shoot the ball, how to freaking pass the ball. They don't do anything other than play defense and rebounds. The guy that I'm thinking about is Dennis Rodman. I mean, this guy's probably the hardest working guy in terms of his life. I mean, he partied like an animal, he trained like an animal, and he will get like 30 rebounds in a game. Like he made a living out of working his ass off. Think about that. He made a living out of working his ass off in the gym. And an NBA franchise went, yeah, we'll have you. You're undersized, but you are insanely driven and you're going to get every rebound. And so Jordan made a whole freaking championship run out of it, or more than one. Extremism to me is always nice. But as you know, Dennis Rodman is not exactly somebody that's doing well in life, because extremism in the grand scheme of things doesn't go well. Like you can't be snorting cocaine, chilling out with the 10 hookers and then wake up tomorrow morning and you have a nice cup of coffee and read the newspapers and go about your day. There's for every up, there's a down, right? And so for every squat, there must be a pull, right? Or two, right? It's just one of those things that you see repeated all the time. We like seeing, a lot of these guys are kind of like fan favorites when you see extremists. But, if you can be an extremist and a specialist and somehow manage the weaknesses, manage the other part, then you're going to have a successful life, I guess. But kind of derailing a little bit, talking about something that's not related to the gym, but it's all about balance. And so did 25 reps at freaking 80% of today's weight. And so today I thought I'm going to prime my body with some morning ham curls, really light after sets of 20. And I'm going to kind of finish the day off with more hamstring curls, just to kind of put that tension back into the opposing tissue. Even though I've said to you guys, like for me, the hamstrings are very much involved in the squat. It's not what you think. I don't think they make me pull the bar up. They don't make me go up. They do something, but they're not like a prime mover. However, if the hamstring is really tight, I have no freaking dorsiflexion. I have no squat mobility. My hips and ankles, everything's jacked up. And I think when I address the hamstrings in whatever capacity, whether it be, I named all the exercises, it kind of primes the body to do what it needs to do with the quads and the glutes. But if you completely forget about the hamstrings, and your hamstrings are just basically a straight line, there's no bulge through them at all, you're going to be potentially with hip pain or knee pain or whatever the case might be. You need to do something to address that little weak link. I know a lot of you guys have messaged me asking about knee pain. Guys, I'm 709 days into this, and I have not had any knee pain. I've had maybe one or two incidences back like on day 150 or 100, like sub 100 even, when I was first kind of getting acclimatized to the whole, squatting heavy every day. I started getting some clicking, like some really bad clicking in my left knee. I kind of worked that around and ended up being a freaking hamstring solution as well for that. But if you have problems with your knee or your hips and you are squatting a whole bunch, just try this out for me. Try any of those exercises and just bang out. And, I've spoken about pull to push ratios. It seems to be that our body likes to pull more than push in terms of health. And I don't know whether that's a, evolutionary thing. I went to the zoo like a month ago or 2 weeks ago with the kids, and I'm watching these monkeys, swinging from tree to tree and whatever. I mean, like they're chilling there for like, it could be an hour, like they're just chilling. And so even though like we're not exactly anatomically exactly like them, I think gravity gets reversed when we hang. So for whatever reason, if you are doing a whole bunch of bench pressing, do some sort of pulling, rowing. I would say pull-ups are the best type of pull, because if you've got that decompression of the spine, of all the joints, even the shoulder. I know in the past, like I've had maybe niggling kind of troubles with the shoulder. I just do like a set, I do a session of pull-ups. I feel brand new the next day. So I don't know what the ratios is. I've tried to work out a ratio. I mean, right now, man, like today, maybe I did 5x5, so 25 reps. Let's say I did another, I did another 20 reps leading up to that. So let's say I did 50 reps. I did 50 reps today with the squat, maybe 50, 60 reps, something like that, all up, including the warm-up. And with the hamstring curls this morning, I did 5 sets of 20. So that's 100, right? And then tonight, I'm going to do another 5 sets of 20. So that's 200. So that's a big ratio, right? That's four times the volume in the hamstring that I did with the quad, right? So 200 so 50 to 200. That's a big difference. You can always manipulate these things. Like, don't listen to my words exactly and be like, oh, Ivan says, 1-to-4 ratio or whatever the case might be. I'm not saying that. Work out for whatever works for you. Like, you might be in a really big deficit with your hamstrings and you might need like 1-to-10, whatever. Like, I'm not saying that you do heavy ass hamstring curls where you're like busting your freaking tendons off the bone. No, man, I'm doing 10 kilos here. In the gym, I'll do 20. I don't even know if that's a kilo or whatever. Like, but basically my 10 plate loaded hamstring curl is exactly like the pulley system thing that says 20. So it's around the same tension. So it's very, very light, and I do 5 sets of 20. It gets the burn going, and I feel good about it. I feel really good. So one thing that I've learned is, man, you just got to balance shit out. It doesn't really matter what you are doing. It could be freaking handstands, whatever, workout, whatever the antagonist motion of that motion that you like to do, and just bang out at a sub 50% or sub 40, 30%, whatever, something super light for a whole bunch of volume, just to restore the tension to the opposite side of the joint. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.